People rarely announce when they decide to move away from their Glock. It seldom occurs in that manner. Suddenly, they appear at the shooting range, during a training session, or on duty with a different firearm. When asked about the change, they provide typical safe responses. They wanted to explore new options. They felt ready for variety. They simply desired a fresh start. Those explanations often miss the true motivation. The actual reason lies in the fact that by 2026, the handgun market features numerous strong competitors that no longer stand in Glock and Oppos as shadow. Some provide superior factory triggers. Others deliver improved ergonomics. Still others supply greater capacity, enhanced modularity, or significantly better value for the investment. Glock certainly merits respect, yet the era of facing no genuine competition has ended. And if you believe only a handful of pistols deserve mention here, reconsider that view. We are counting down 15 handguns that prompt Glock owners to seriously weigh making a change. Let us dive right in. Quietly overlooked, yet highly capable, the Ruger American pistol stands out. This firearm demonstrates that widespread popularity and true quality do not always align. While more prominent brands captured attention through media coverage, online buzz, and law enforcement deals, the Ruger American pistol continued delivering something less glamorous, but far more essential. It simply performed reliably over time. That reliability explains why this model earns a place on this list. We are discussing handguns that cause Glock owners to pause and reconsider, and this one achieves that through exceptional value, consistent dependability, and a straightforward design approach that many enthusiasts continue to admire. Ruger developed this platform with real-world applications in mind from the start, avoiding fleeting trends or mere cosmetic imitations of existing designs. The outcome is a full-size striker-fired handgun that conveys strength immediately upon handling. The frame offers a firm and grounded sensation, the slide operates with smooth precision, and the grip contour often surprises users because it proves more comfortable than anticipated. Many individuals who expected a cumbersome feel instead discover how well it conforms to the hand and how effectively it manages recoil as firing begins. This milder shooting experience represents one of its greatest understated advantages. It avoids punishing the shooter, maintains steady sight tracking, and supports extended training periods more comfortably than several competitors with harsher recoil in the same category. Capacity typically reaches 17 rounds in 9mm, keeping it competitive alongside contemporary duty pistols, while the ambidextrous controls win immediate approval from many purchasers. Easy access to both the slide stop and magazine release makes it a suitable choice for left-handed users or those who prioritize adaptable operation without premium costs. Ruger incorporated interchangeable grip panels to allow customization of the pistol and Oppos feel, an aspect that holds greater importance than most admit. A handgun that conforms better to the hand frequently performs more effectively when it counts. Cost-effectiveness provides another compelling argument for including this pistol among Glock alternatives. In 2026, well-maintained used models frequently trade in the range of $399 to $499, and even new old stock or special offerings maintain highly appealing prices relative to recent big-name releases. This allows customers to acquire a full-size American-produced duty-oriented pistol with solid capacity, a trustworthy background, and strong ergonomics for hundreds less than many popular choices. Such economics draw interest quickly. At the range, the trigger performs adequately. It does not claim match-grade status, yet it remains functional, steady, and gets better with regular use. The reset proves distinct enough for real-world application, and numerous owners note that the pistol benefits from consistent practice instead of requiring costly modifications. That quality further aligns it with the focus of this presentation. Certain firearms command higher prices because owners anticipate later customization. The Ruger American pistol attracts those who prefer to purchase the gun, use it regularly, rely on its performance, and continue forward without complications. Drawbacks exist, and candor is essential on this point. The support network lags well behind Glock standards. Holsters, triggers, sights, and specialized parts are available, but the overall options remain more limited. Market excitement for resale stays modest since it never gained trendy status. Nevertheless, for many informed buyers, these represent acceptable compromises. They seek neither a prominent brand emblem nor online validation. They seek a reliable sidearm that fulfills its purpose effectively. Ruger and Oppo's long-standing association with tough, practical firearms built for demanding conditions extends naturally to this model. It may not lead discussions, yet it gains genuine appreciation after serious evaluation. At number 14, the Beretta APX A1 full-size stands out as proof that an established manufacturer can still deliver surprises by paying attention to feedback and delivering meaningful upgrades. The original APX offered strong basics, yet many users felt it lacked distinct character amid the competitive striker-fired field. Rather than dropping the design, Beretta addressed nearly all the key areas and created a much stronger contender heading into 2026. This holds real relevance for this ranking since numerous Glock owners seek familiar reliability from a respected name without needing drastic changes. They look for enhancements in the specifics they encounter during every practice session. The APX A1 delivers precisely that appeal. Shooters often first observe the updated slide with its pronounced, practical serrations that provide excellent purchase even during demanding situations involving moisture, gloves, or quick reloads. This update modernizes the appearance while delivering genuine practical benefits. Another key factor placing this model on the list is its optics-ready configuration. As red dot sights gain popularity annually, Beretta ensured the A1 could hold its own in that evolving space instead of seeming outdated. Adding an optic elevates the pistol into a capable choice for home protection, range training, or professional carry roles. The grip follows closely in appeal, with frame texturing that offers firm hold without excessive roughness and a contour that lets many hands settle naturally. One of the pistol and Oppo's less obvious advantages lies in its recoil management, which keeps the gun flatter than anticipated, allows swift recovery on target, and builds shooter assurance during rapid sequences. This practical performance often outweighs basic trigger specifications or online chatter because real-world usability determines lasting satisfaction. The trigger itself shows clear advancement compared to the prior version, featuring a crisper release, more consistent engagement point, and improved return that enables strong performance right from purchase. This aspect proves vital in the segment as customers grow weary of buying a handgun only to plan immediate accessory expenses. Capacity generally hovers near 17 rounds in 9mm, aligning perfectly with expectations for a contemporary full-size model. In 2026, prices typically range from $449 to $579 based on location, bundle, and included plates. This positioning represents one of the most persuasive elements for the firearm. Purchasers receive Beretta legacy quality along with current capabilities, red dot preparedness, effective handling, and steady operation without venturing into high-end costs. For plenty of customers, this combination hits the ideal balance. Limitations deserve straightforward mention. Accessory availability still falls short of Glock, SIG, and several leading systems. Options for holsters and add-ons exist, yet they lack the vast selection others provide. Support for trigger modifications remains more restricted, although many users find the stock version sufficient. Previous impressions of the brand create another hurdle, as some decided against the line after the initial release and never returned. This situation actually opens chances for informed buyers since the A1 surpasses what its image implies. The reason it suits this countdown comes down to essentials. It supplies Glock enthusiasts with their top priorities such as dependability, intuitive operation, up-to-date capacity, compatibility with optics, and solid worth, all while introducing superior aesthetics and a polished character beyond common assumptions. It avoids being the flashiest option available, and that restraint could prove to be its true strength. Designed to withstand intense conditions and relied upon in demanding scenarios, the FN509 arrives at number 13. This handgun immediately clicks once its intended purpose becomes clear. Developers did not craft the FN509 to excel in aesthetics or rely on bold promotion. Instead, the focus centered on proven toughness for rigorous applications, military standard resilience, and the capabilities that matter most to dedicated users when circumstances turn serious. Those priorities explain its inclusion among options that encourage reconsideration of Glock loyalty. Many remain committed to Glock due to its unwavering function in any environment. The FN 509 confronts that view by matching such assurance and layering on distinctive advantages. Drawing from insights of extensive military evaluation processes, FN infused the entire construction with that dedicated intent. The slide presents a substantial and sturdy profile. Inner parts emphasize extended service life, and the operating elements convey purposeful solidity, indicating the design prioritizes function over shelf appeal. Grip texturing strikes an effective balance, remaining secure through perspiration, precipitation, or dynamic shooting, yet comfortable enough to avoid discomfort in prolonged sessions. This equilibrium carries more significance than many recognize. A primary motivation for transitioning to the 509 involves accessing ruggedness paired with contemporary elements straight from the factory. Users avoid starting with a plain model and gradually enhancing it because the FN 509 frequently supplies desired attributes immediately. Versions prepared for optics, known as MRD models, gain particular favor thanks to their secure and field-tested attachment method. Tactical configurations incorporate elevated sights for suppressors, barrels with threading, and longer magazines, transforming the handgun into a versatile, ready-to-use system. Capacity stands out strongly, typically offering 17 rounds in base magazines and reaching up to 24 with extensions, providing a noticeable advantage compared to many standard offerings in this group. This model also aligns with the presentation theme through its proven resilience in challenging environments. The FN 509 has established a track record of operating effectively when fouled, under sustained fire, or during heavy deployment without issues. Such traits appeal strongly to law enforcement professionals, personal defense users, and individuals who require a firearm that needs no special handling. Recoil delivers a sharp yet controllable pulse, and regular practice allows reliable tracking. The trigger draws the most frequent notes of concern. It functions adequately, maintains consistency, and benefits from break-in periods, although many find it less polished than alternatives upon initial use. When trigger quality tops the priority list, smoother choices exist. When durability and dependability lead, perspectives shift rapidly. From an ergonomic standpoint, the design includes replaceable backstraps, ambidextrous features on various versions, and a grip angle comfortable for diverse hand sizes. Magazines feature robust construction, the surface treatment endures well, and the overall assembly mirrors FN standards for professional-grade production. During 2026, typical FN 509 models trade in the $629 to $749 range, with tactical and enhanced optics-ready editions often reaching $799 to $999 according to configuration and included components. This avoids discount territory, yet customers invest in genuine heritage, present-day features, and sustained reliability. Selections of the FN 509 rarely stem from current fashions. Instead, they attract those desiring a handgun that seems reinforced for duty, prepared for real demands, and equipped to endure extended service. For Glock users convinced that only their platform offered such security, the FN 509 frequently becomes the point where those convictions begin to waver. Holding number 12, the Taurus G3 Tactical emerges as a strong contender. Just a short time ago, many enthusiasts might have laughed at the thought of Taurus featuring on any credible roundup of Glock alternatives. Yet that skepticism reveals more about past perceptions than present-day facts. By 2026, the Taurus G3 Tactical clearly illustrates the evolution of the handgun market, since it delivers capabilities shoppers normally associate with much higher costs, while remaining firmly in the affordable segment. This aspect carries weight in this ranking because numerous Glock owners begin exploring other choices for a straightforward motive. They seek greater overall worth while maintaining solid real-world function. The G3 Tactical aligns perfectly with that discussion. It provides users with an optics-ready slide included from the manufacturer, enabling straightforward attachment of popular red dot sights without requiring immediate custom machining or costly replacement components. Many versions also come equipped with a threaded barrel, attracting those considering legal suppressor applications, compensators, or simply preferring a handgun prepared for future enhancements right away. Those two elements frequently elevate prices of rival models by hundreds of dollars, but Taurus maintains this one at competitive rates. In 2026, actual market prices generally range from $399 to $499, with promotional deals occasionally going even lower, rendering it difficult to overlook for newcomers or seasoned users seeking an additional practice firearm. Capacity stands as another notable advantage, featuring 17-round magazines that deliver substantial ammunition reserves and position the pistol as a capable full-size duty-oriented option instead of a limited low-cost choice. When held, the G3 Tactical impresses more than anticipated. The grip contour offers comfort, the surface provides effective traction without irritation, and the frame supplies adequate stability for quick successive shots. The trigger delivers a pleasant surprise to many. While it does not qualify as a high-end competition unit, it marks a significant improvement over previous Taurus designs. The release feels crisper, the initial travel remains reasonable, and the return supports quicker shooting after some familiarization. This progress alone has prompted many to reassess the brand entirely. Dependability has shown marked advancements in recent manufacturing runs, forming one of the primary factors for its presence in discussions about departing from Glock. Individuals considering alternatives focus less on prestige and more on what delivers results for the expenditure. Taurus has responded to that inquiry more effectively than most anticipated. The slide incorporates generous serrations, the operating controls remain intuitive, and disassembly proves straightforward even for those new to the platform. During range sessions, recoil stays manageable, sight alignment holds steady, and the full-size structure allows the firearm to shoot more comfortably than several smaller carry models in the same budget category. Genuine limitations still apply. The surface treatment lacks the polish of top-tier manufacturers. Resale appeal often trails behind Glock or SIG, and extended accessory ecosystems remain narrower than those of market leaders. Certain purchasers stay hesitant since public opinions evolve more gradually than the products themselves. Yet for anyone desiring a contemporary striker-fired handgun featuring authentic capacity, optics preparation, modification possibilities, and daily usability at a level many rivals cannot equal, the Taurus G3 Tactical represents a much more compelling choice than detractors often acknowledge. It secures this position by showing that affordable pricing no longer equates to basic, obsolete, or underperforming designs. Moving to number 11, the Shadow Systems DR920 enters the picture. This handgun addresses a common progression many Glock owners experience over time. They acquire the original model and then proceed to swap components gradually. Improvements begin with upgraded sights, followed by a better trigger, optics milling on the slide, enhanced frame texturing, possibly a precision barrel, recoil adjustments, or magazine well additions. Eventually, the initial cost savings disappear as the overall investment exceeds initial expectations. The DR920 disrupts this pattern by supplying a ready-to-use factory firearm that mirrors the customized configuration many seasoned shooters ultimately create from their Glock. That approach explains why it integrates so effectively into this list. It presents buyers with a practical incentive to transition since they can begin nearer to an optimized setup instead of investing in gradual modifications. Most users first appreciate the enhanced ergonomics. Shadow Systems modified the grip angle, relieved the trigger guard area, incorporated a more pronounced beaver tail, and applied texturing that secures firmly yet avoids discomfort over extended sessions. The pistol naturally aligns with the target, manages recoil consistently, and generally feels more sophisticated than typical stock polymer models. The slide represents another standout feature. It arrives optics ready with a reliable interface engineered for secure attachment of common red dots, removing the necessity of outsourcing slide work or risking inferior mounting plates. Deep and effective serrations at both front and rear facilitate easier handling even with damp hands, gloves, or during high-pressure scenarios. Numerous configurations also feature angled cuts that lighten the assembly, promote flatter tracking in rapid sequences, and lend a customized aesthetic immediately upon unboxing. The trigger ranks among the strongest draws after the initial rounds. It typically provides a cleaner and more immediate response compared to standard service-grade striker mechanisms, complete with a clear engagement point and abbreviated return that aids quicker follow-ups. Although it might not fully substitute for specialized competition units in every case, it achieves an excellent equilibrium of safety and usability for defensive or carry applications. Internally, Shadow Systems incorporates enhanced parts and performance-oriented refinements that maintain the familiar Glock-style simplicity while elevating the overall experience. The DR920 further supports compatibility with many Glock pattern magazines, holsters, and components, which proves important as users avoid entering a restricted support environment. Capacity remains consistent with standard full-size expectations, equipping shooters with established duty-grade ammunition counts in 9mm. In 2026, typical pricing falls between $950 and $1,150 depending on specific build, sights, barrel variations, and optics package. This figure appears substantial until weighed against the expense of starting with a standard Glock and layering on quality sights, trigger components, slide modifications, frame enhancements, magazine well improvements, and associated labor. In numerous instances, the DR920 proves the more economical decision overall. It remains imperfect. Certain users still favor the complete starting point simplicity and reduced initial cost of an unmodified Glock. Others might prefer additional testing time before relying on any enhanced performance model for daily carry. Nevertheless, when examining motivations for moving beyond Glock, this firearm makes thorough sense. It retains the established operating principles users already understand while providing the refined qualities many pursued through modifications. For those seeking reduced trade-offs, minimal guesswork with accessories, and immediate advanced capabilities, the DR920 ranks among the most convincing alternatives available today. Entering number 10, the CZP-07 brings a fresh perspective. Not every shooter departing from Glock seeks yet another striker-fired model with minor enhancements. Some desire a platform that transforms the overall shooting feel, and this is precisely where the CZP-07 secures its position in the ranking. Rather than the standard striker mechanism, the P-07 offers a hammer-fired double-action single-action configuration that seasoned users continue to value highly. The initial longer double-action stroke provides added assurance for everyday carry, while subsequent shots shift to a lighter and crisper single-action release. For those who value deliberate stages and precise control, this approach proves far more involving than repeating the identical flat striker pull. It further includes second strike ability, a feature absent from most striker-fired designs, allowing another trigger pull to retry ignition on a dud round without needing to rack the slide. While this detail may not appeal universally, it holds genuine importance for certain owners. The P-07 aligns closely with the core message of this presentation for a straightforward cause. Plenty of Glock enthusiasts remain satisfied with reliability, yet grow weary of uniformity. They seek distinct character, tangible mechanical feedback, and a firearm offering a unique form of assurance. The P-07 supplies all of that while preserving everyday usefulness. It stays compact enough for effective concealment, yet substantial enough to function well for home protection or duty applications. Reinforced polymer construction on the frame helps control weight, and the steel slide paired with the barrel delivers the solid presence CZ supporters anticipate. Ergonomics rank among the top reasons for ongoing loyalty to the brand. The grip contour sits naturally in the palm, the relieved trigger guard promotes a higher hold, and recoil impulses travel rearward in a consistent manner instead of snapping sharply. This quality enables quicker successive shots than many anticipate from a compact hammer-fired design. Capacity holds strong around 15 rounds in 9mm, remaining competitive alongside various striker-fired rivals. The Omega trigger mechanism stands as another key advantage, permitting configuration with either a decocker or manual safety based on individual needs. Such adaptability remains uncommon and truly practical. Certain users prefer decocking before holstering, while others favor cocked and locked carry, and this system accommodates both preferences. Over time, the trigger typically smooths out into a highly satisfying action. Current market values generally range from $499 to $649 depending on condition, location, and included items, establishing it as excellent value given the solid construction and versatility. Limitations deserve open discussion. The pistol features a modestly steeper learning process than basic striker-fired options, particularly for those new to double-action, single-action transitions. Accessory availability remains respectable, though far below Glock standards, and some prefer even lighter carry models. For the suitable user, however, these represent worthwhile exchanges for a more satisfying experience. The CZP-07 earns its spot on this list by providing an element many contemporary handguns have set aside: genuine character. It equips shooters with dependability, adaptability, established CZ quality, and a trigger mechanism that feels engaging and purposeful. For anyone moving on from Glock in pursuit of a less ordinary firearm that feels more deliberate with each use, the P-07 presents a compelling argument. Advancing to number 9, the ARX Delta Gen 2 fits the overall theme exceptionally well. It demonstrates that acquiring a capable and trustworthy handgun does not require the most prominent brand or top-shelf pricing. Many Glock owners begin considering alternatives upon recognizing they often pay as much for name recognition as for actual capability, and this is the moment the Delta Gen 2 joins the discussion. Produced in Slovenia by ARX, a firm respected for accurate machining and robust production quality, the pistol elicits the same response from most who try it. Why does this not receive more attention? The Delta Gen 2 delivers a level of polish unexpected at its cost. The frame offers a slender grip profile, smooth contours, and a balance that feels lighter during movement than its weight indicates. This balance proves valuable for carry because certain models conceal easily, yet prove uncomfortable to shoot, while others handle well but feel cumbersome daily. The Delta Gen 2 occupies the ideal middle ground. It remains comfortable on the belt, aligns instinctively with the target, and maintains enough stability for confident rapid-fire sequences at the range. Shooters transitioning from Glock frequently notice the slimmer dimensions and more contoured ergonomics first. Texturing provides sufficient grip to resist movement under recoil without irritating skin or garments, and the undercut trigger guard area encourages a higher hand position for superior control. The trigger supplies another strong justification for its inclusion. It delivers a crisper release than many entry-level striker-fired options, along with a brief and distinct reset that supports fast follow-up shots without ambiguity. Although not promoted as a premium system, real-world performance exceeds expectations for this price range. ARX equipped the slide with pronounced serrations on both ends to simplify operations under pressure while wearing gloves or in damp environments. Dependability counts among the platform's quiet advantages. Users frequently report consistent function across diverse ammunition types, delivering the predictability essential for defensive firearms. Capacity typically spans 15 to 17 rounds based on the specific model, staying aligned with leading competitors. Optics readiness on certain variants adds further appeal by offering a forward-looking option without later expensive slide modifications. In 2026, typical street prices range from approximately $449 to $599, making the Delta Gen 2 hard to overlook. Many higher-priced models provide little beyond brand prestige, whereas this one emphasizes functional performance where it matters most. Drawbacks relate primarily to recognition rather than inherent quality. The accessory market stays smaller than Glock offerings, holster choices prove more limited in some regions, and resale prices may not equal those of major names simply because fewer buyers recognize the model. Still, if the objective centers on selecting the most effective tool instead of the best-known emblem, these points often carry little weight. This handgun merits a place on the list as it embodies a more intelligent transition. It avoids pursuing trends or excessive spending and instead focuses on a firearm offering authentic ergonomics, consistent operation, current capabilities, and genuine worth. For enthusiasts seeking variety while upholding standards, the ARX Delta Gen 2 remains one of the underrated standouts in today's handgun landscape. Taking the number 8 spot, the Mossberg MC2C makes a compelling case. Many enthusiasts never anticipated Mossberg establishing itself as a notable player in the concealed carry pistol segment, given the company's long association with reliable shotguns rather than compact defensive handguns. That unexpected element is precisely why the MC2C earns its place in this ranking. It stands as one of the best demonstrations of a manufacturer stepping into a saturated field with competitive pricing while still providing performance that exceeds typical expectations. This is the sort of handgun buyers choose when they grow tired of investing heavily in name recognition alone and instead seek a practical solution for everyday carry challenges. The MC2C prioritizes real-world utility above all else. It remains small enough for comfortable concealment beneath regular attire, yet large enough to handle like a capable defensive tool rather than a minimal pocket option that grows tiring after limited rounds. Achieving that equilibrium proves more difficult than most realize, and Mossberg succeeded admirably. Most users enjoy a secure full handhold thanks to the grip design, while the beaver tail aids in managing recoil, and the surface texturing delivers reliable grip without causing irritation during extended wear. This positioning matters greatly because numerous carry firearms either hide well but perform poorly at the range or shoot effectively yet prove uncomfortable for daily use. The MC2C strikes an ideal balance right where most users truly require it. Value represents another key factor supporting its inclusion among Glock alternatives. In 2026, many units remain available in the $399 to $499 range, allowing it to undercut several better-known rivals, while including modern features customers now demand. Optics-ready versions exist, enabling easy mounting of a micro-red that without entering a much more expensive category. Deep and effective slide serrations simplify handling during intense moments or with moist hands. The trigger performs better than many budget critics anticipate, offering a clear engagement point and solid return that facilitates rapid follow-up shots. Capacity adds further strength, typically providing 13 rounds in flush-fitting magazines or 16 with the extended version, granting meaningful defensive capability without excessive bulk. Mossberg engineered the pistol with simple disassembly and routine care and focus, details that regular owners value increasingly over time compared to attention-grabbing marketing elements. Dependability has emerged as one of the highest praises for the MC2C, particularly after users accumulate genuine carry experience and confirm the firearm simply functions as intended. Of course, it is not flawless. The accessory market stays more restricted than those for Glock, SIG, or Smith & Wesson, so individuals seeking extensive trigger options, custom slides, or specialized parts might encounter limitations. Certain shooters also desire a more refined trigger experience immediately from the factory. These observations require proper perspective. However, since the pistol competes in a price category where some concessions are standard, and Mossberg minimized them effectively, the MC2C relevance to this list boils down to a basic truth. It demonstrates that top-dollar spending is unnecessary to obtain a dependable, contemporary, optics-compatible carry pistol offering solid capacity, genuine shootability, and practical daily performance. For many Glock owners investigating other choices, this model is exactly the type that prompts them to pause and reconsider seriously. Coming in at number 7, the Walther PDP provides one of the most evident reasons numerous Glock owners begin exploring alternatives in 2026, since it directly addresses one of the most frequent frustrations people address over years through modifications. Trigger quality stands front and center. Many purchasers acquire a Glock and promptly start swapping components, adjusting connectors, refining internals, and pursuing a sharper release with quicker return. The Walther PDP bypasses that whole routine by supplying one of the finest factory striker-fired triggers in its group straight from purchase. The release arrives crisp, the engagement point remains consistent, the reset feels brief and noticeable, and successive shots flow effortlessly without extra effort. This detail holds importance because this countdown focuses on firearms that encourage genuine transitions for valid causes and reducing time, expense, and hassle counts as a legitimate motivation. Yet the trigger forms merely the foundation. Designers created the PDP as a fully realized modern defensive pistol, instead of relying on a single standout attribute. The slide incorporates deep super-terrain serrations that afford excellent control even with damp hands, gloves, perspiration, or difficult environments, a quality that grows increasingly vital during intensive use. Frame texturing grips firmly under recoil without abrading hands throughout extended range sessions. The grip angle suits many users naturally, enabling swift presentation toward the target. Recoil management earns additional acclaim for the PDP. It maintains flat tracking, recovers rapidly, and instills confidence for accelerated shooting without losing control. For those shifting from Glock, this realization often marks the turning point. Walther engineered the PDP with red dot sights integrated from the outset rather than treating them as secondary additions. The built-in optics-ready slide system proves clean, reliable, and among the stronger mounting solutions in the class, which grows significant as more defensive users adopt pistol-mounted dots annually. Capacity stays competitive, spanning roughly 15 rounds in compact configurations to 18 or higher in full-size variants, ensuring no loss of effective ammunition supply in exchange for enhanced refinement. Overall worth further supports this model alignment with the presentation theme. In 2026, most PDP versions appear in the $599 to $799 range depending on dimensions, finish, and included items, frequently matching or approaching the effective cost of a Glock after typical aftermarket editions. This shifts the equation considerably. Rather than acquiring a basic model and enhancing it incrementally, many users opt for the PDP and gain an immediate advantage. A handful of genuine limitations exist. The grip may feel broader than some competing designs, particularly for those with smaller hands, although the F-Series variant mitigates this with a narrower profile and lighter slide function. Holster availability remains good, yet falls short of Glock abundance. Certain users also favor a lower bore axis sensation offered by different manufacturers. None of these aspects diminish the reasons the PDP continues attracting longtime Glock enthusiasts. It supplies an excellent trigger, contemporary ergonomics, robust optics compatibility, consistent reliability, and a degree of immediate readiness that renders many modifications unnecessary. When someone explains their switch stemmed from desiring greater capability without further investment in improvements, the Walther PDP stands as one of the most persuasive responses across the entire list. Landing at number 6. The Springfield Armory Echelon immediately distinguished itself upon release by avoiding the familiar striker-fired template that has dominated the market for years. This distinction holds real importance in this ranking, since shooters rarely abandon Glock simply to acquire a nearly identical alternative. They make the change when a new handgun addresses actual issues, introduces practical improvements, or delivers superior worth while preserving confidence. The Echelon achieves all three goals effectively. Its standout innovation centers on the Central Operating Group, a serialized internal chassis that serves as the actual firearm, while the grip module and exterior frame act as surrounding components. In everyday terms, this design lets owners swap frame sizes, alter grip configurations, or adapt future setups without replacing the core system. For users who carry one configuration, train with another, or desire long-term adaptability, this versatility provides a substantial benefit. It reduces expenses over time, maintains consistent training habits, and supplies the modular adaptability that many established platforms still cannot fully replicate. Yet Springfield avoided depending solely on this innovation. They ensured the pistol delivers strong performance on the range. The trigger provides a crisp release paired with a consistent engagement point and brief reset that supports quicker action than many standard models. It avoids overly light competition-style tuning, yet remains sharp enough for defensive applications, range sessions, and rapid successive shots. Recoil management stands out as another highlight. The bore axis achieves good balance. The grip angle feels intuitive, and the frame texturing supplies reliable hold without irritating hands throughout extended practice. This thoughtful balance proves more significant than many realize, as numerous pistols lean too slick or excessively rough. The Echelon hits an effective midpoint suitable for perspiration, wet conditions, gloves, or routine carry. A particularly clever design decision involves the optics mounting approach. Rather than requiring multiple plates, screws, and potential compatibility headaches, Springfield created the variable interface system for direct attachment of many popular red dot patterns. This results in lower sight height, reduced added components, and a streamlined installation straight from the factory. In this price segment, that feature offers considerable added value. Capacity performs strongly as well, with common options including 17 or 20-round magazines that maintain excellent competitiveness in the full-size duty category. In 2026, most standard versions typically sell between $599 and $699, with occasional package deals dropping even lower. This positioning explains exactly why the Echelon belongs prominently on the list. Customers receive advanced features, contemporary modularity, robust capacity, optics compatibility, and a polished shooting experience without venturing into luxury-level costs. It delivers the impression of a handgun priced well below its actual capabilities. Limitations exist, and transparency about them remains essential. Glock, SIG Sauer, and Smith & Wesson continue to lead in sheer accessory volume, offering more holsters, trigger components, internal parts, and decades of established institutional backing. As a newer platform, the Echelon may show gaps for enthusiasts who prioritize extensive customization options. Certain users also favor more compact carry variants, although Springfield continues broadening the selection. Ultimately, these points relate mostly to maturity rather than inherent shortcomings. The Echelon impresses because it already feels fully developed. It entered the market with careful engineering, useful capabilities, and immediate real-world effectiveness rather than mere potential. Reaching number 5, the HK VP9 earns its position firmly if the focus centers on why shooters depart Glock in favor of a handgun that feels notably more refined from the first moment it is handled. Many pistols rely heavily on promotional language, yet the VP9 earned its dedicated following through direct comparison testing, where users experienced its natural performance firsthand. Comfort tops the list of frequent comments. HK engineered this model with one of the most versatile grip adjustment systems available among striker-fired options, incorporating interchangeable backstraps and side panels that accommodate varied hand dimensions far more effectively than the standard one-size approach still common elsewhere. This detail proves meaningful because a pistol that aligns instinctively allows faster sight acquisition, smoother follow-up shots, and reduced need for mid-presentation corrections. The advantage seems minor in description, but becomes unmistakable in practice. Another primary motivation for many Glock owners transitioning involves the overall shooting dynamics. The VP9 produces a gentler and more controlled recoil impulse compared to several service-grade pistols in its category. It maintains flat tracking, returns to target swiftly, and conveys the sense of factory optimization. The trigger represents yet another compelling strength. It delivers a sharper break and clearer engagement surface than most stock striker-fired competitors, along with a concise reset that encourages controlled rapid fire. Consequently, many purchasers see little reason to begin modifications right after acquisition, forming a major reason this model aligns with the video theme. Rather than purchasing a lower-cost option and later investing to improve trigger quality, ergonomics, and overall handling, some shooters simply select the VP9 and gain an immediate head start. Construction quality reflects classic HK standards through precise fit, resilient internal elements, superior barrel production, excellent resistance to corrosion, and a slide engineered for sustained heavy use. This handgun has cultivated a reputation for functioning reliably, whether clean or fouled, and continuing to operate under conditions that reveal limitations in lesser designs. Standard capacity typically provides 15 or 17 rounds depending on the specific setup, and optics-ready versions have gained popularity by supporting direct red dot installation without outsourcing slide work. In 2026, typical pricing ranges from $699 to $899, with enhanced optics packages sometimes exceeding that, confirming it exceeds many budget-oriented choices. This higher cost forms the chief limitation since buyers invest in superior design, established reputation, and refined finishing. The accessory ecosystem also trails Glock or SIG in breadth, resulting in fewer extensive customization avenues. Certain variants feature the paddle-style magazine release favored by enthusiasts for rapid and ambidextrous operation, while others retain the conventional button style. None of these elements alter the fundamental appeal that places it here. The VP9 targets the shooter who grew weary of acquiring economical pistols and then expending additional funds to elevate their feel. This model arrives already elevated. It proves accurate, reliable, comfortable, straightforward to shoot effectively, and finished to a standard many rivals never fully reach. When someone describes leaving Glock in search of greater refinement while upholding dependability, the HK VP9 emerges as one of the most credible explanations on the full list. Sliding into number 4, the Canik Meat SFT marks the stage where strong value shifts from mere discussion to a genuine challenge for more expensive options. After spending time shooting the Meat SFT, the focus moves away from brand allegiance towards straightforward truth. Exactly what extra benefits justify higher costs elsewhere? That question resonates strongly because the Meat SFT supplies capabilities shooters typically anticipate only after investing more or installing aftermarket upgrades. Canik earned recognition by recognizing a priority many manufacturers overlooked for years. Most customers prefer not to buy a handgun and then replace numerous components right away. They seek a firearm prepared for immediate use. The Meat SFT meets that expectation with one of the strongest factory triggers available in its category. The release comes crisp, the engagement point stays consistent, and the return proves brief enough to support natural rapid follow-up shots rather than requiring extra effort. Range enthusiasts gain tighter split times. Beginners learn core skills on a trigger that cooperates instead of resisting, and defensive carriers enjoy greater assurance during moments when speed counts. Ergonomics represent another area where this pistol exceeds expectations for its class. The grip texturing delivers firm stability without irritation. The relieved trigger guard promotes a higher hand position, and the beaver tail supports effective recoil handling. It aligns naturally for many users, and the overall weight distribution creates a sense of lightness during movement that belies its actual mass. Deep and useful slide serrations simplify press checks and manipulations even with damp hands or while wearing gloves. Canik further equips the model with an optics-ready slide, an important detail since red dot setups on pistols have become mainstream by 2026. Several manufacturers continue charging premium rates for this edition, yet it arrives standard here. Factory sights work well from the start, controls feel intuitive, and the magazine release sits within easy reach without unnatural hand adjustments. Chambered in 9mm, it typically holds 18 rounds in standard magazines, with extended versions available in certain regions. This setup provides full-size defensive capacity without demanding luxury-level spending. Street prices in 2026 frequently range from $449 to $549, occasionally dropping lower on sale. This positioning explains why the Meat SFT unsettles the market. Some individuals carry far costlier pistols and then invest in triggers, sights, optics cuts, and grip modifications merely to match the readiness this model already delivers. Transparency remains important in both directions. The accessory market continues developing yet still falls short of Glock or SIG in overall selection. Certain buyers favor platforms with longer established service records. Resale prices may also lean toward traditional names. These factors deserve consideration based on individual needs. Nevertheless, when the purpose of this ranking involves spotting handguns that prompt doubt about remaining with Glock, the Meat SFT clearly qualifies. It demonstrates that affordable pricing need not indicate reduced capability and often enables wiser spending rather than greater expenditure. This reality leads many shooters to test one, react with surprise after the opening magazine, and begin re-evaluating expectations for value in the handgun market. Claiming number 3, the CZP-10F prompts serious reflection on the true worth of brand prestige, since handling it immediately highlights exceptional worth. CZ approached the striker-fired category without aiming for flashy innovation or major departures. Instead, the company examined preferred shooter features and addressed long-standing subtle complaints many had simply tolerated. The outcome delivers a full-size handgun that feels instantly recognizable, yet noticeably sharper, more intelligent, and better tuned once live rounds start cycling. Many users first appreciate the grip contour, which features a natural angle that promotes instinctive pointing across diverse hand sizes and reduces corrections during draws while speeding up sight acquisition on target. This advantage seems small in theory but proves constant across every presentation, drill, and repetition. Texturing provides enough aggression to remain secure amid perspiration or moisture, yet stays comfortable enough to avoid irritation during prolonged range time or concealed carry in varied conditions. The trigger stands among the most persuasive reasons for its ranking here. Whereas many similar-priced competitors require aftermarket enhancements before owners feel content, the P10F comes equipped with a crisp break, brief and distinct reset, and overall pull that exceeds expectations for the price. This enables easier rapid shots, smoother transitions, and immediate benefits for those prioritizing speed. Recoil management impresses quietly as well. The bore axis sits low, frame geometry supports flat tracking, and the slide recovers smoothly with minimal upward movement. The result creates controllable dynamics suitable for novices while still meeting demands of seasoned users. Standard capacity reaches 19 rounds of 9mm, positioning it ideally for modern duty use and delivering strong practicality for home defense, training, or range sessions. In 2026, many current prices remain in the $449 to $579 range depending on finish, optics preparation, and regional availability, making this model particularly threatening to established competitors. At these levels, customers obtain ergonomics comparable to premium offerings, an enjoyable trigger for many, solid dependability, and shootability normally associated with much higher investments. Optics-ready configurations enhance its appeal for contemporary users seeking straightforward red-dot mounting without immediate milling expenses. Deep and functional slide serrations ease operations under stress or with wet hands, while controls follow logical placement that preserves familiar muscle memory. Naturally, it has limitations. The aftermarket exists but stays more limited than Glock offerings, resulting in fewer holster selections in some locations, reduced part availability, and narrower customization possibilities. Regional factory support may differ from that of larger American manufacturers. Yet these points diminish in importance when the base pistol performs so effectively upon arrival. This forms the central reason it integrates so well into the list. The entire countdown highlights firearms that encourage rethinking Glock ownership, and the CZP-10F achieves exactly that through premium-level handling, genuine everyday utility, and remarkable value without requiring premium-level budgets. Right near the top sits the SIG Sauer P320 M17, a handgun that secures this position for reasons few rivals can equal. It goes beyond another striker-fired model seeking notice through appearance or promotional efforts. This platform established its standing by passing one of the toughest selection processes in recent times before becoming the civilian counterpart to the sidearm adopted for major military service. That heritage carries weight since purchasers understand the design endured rigorous testing long before appearing on retail shelves. For this ranking, the M17 integrates seamlessly because it offers Glock owners the adaptability they frequently seek after extended ownership without requiring a complete restart. At its core lies the serialized fire control unit, meaning the regulated firearm component is the internal chassis instead of the grip frame. This setup enables users to exchange grip modules, vary slide lengths, adjust frame dimensions, and create multiple configurations around the same foundation. Practically speaking, a single pistol can transform into a range tool, home defense option, or concealed carry setup according to the owner needs. Such extensive modularity drives many toward the platform. Rather than acquiring entirely new handguns whenever requirements evolve, users can modify the system they already understand. The benefits grow clearer with time. Although standard M17 models typically sell between $649 and $799 in 2026, numerous shooters realize ongoing savings as the design expands alongside their preferences. Aftermarket availability forms another major strength for its placement in the countdown. Following military selection, manufacturers of holsters, sights, triggers, optics, magazines, and custom work responded swiftly. Today, the P320 series boasts one of the most comprehensive support networks in the industry. Whether seeking a flat trigger, tungsten grip module, threaded barrel, compensator, enhanced sights, competition slide, duty holster, or red dot integration, abundant choices await. This simplifies ownership and opens nearly unlimited personalization paths. In terms of performance, the M17 delivers a smooth shooting experience, balanced recoil, and straightforward handling suitable for beginners while retaining advanced potential for seasoned users. The full-size frame promotes stability during rapid strings, and the grip angle suits many hand shapes comfortably. Capacity proves robust, with standard magazines holding 17 or 21 rounds to support strong practical application. The manual safety included on the M17 appeals to many who desire extra security without losing modern striker-fired speed. The optics-ready slide further increases its appeal since numerous users now expect red dot compatibility immediately rather than investing in later milling. Genuine limitations deserve clear acknowledgement. Certain shooters favor the out-of-box trigger feel from Walther or Canik. Others note a slightly higher bore axis compared to some competitors, which subtly alters recoil characteristics. Past safety discussions also linger in online conversations, despite updated manufacturing and factory refinements resolving those concerns years earlier. And standing above the rest, the Smith & Wesson M and PM 2.0 claims the top position. This pistol earns the #1 ranking because it excels where it truly counts, not through advertisements or online debates, but in the hands of those who rely on a handgun to perform flawlessly every time. From law enforcement agencies and security units to armed citizens, instructors, and veterans who have evaluated nearly every option available, the M and PM 2.0 repeatedly emerges as the ultimate selection. That consistent preference stems neither from chance nor exaggeration. It arises from a design that methodically resolves issues while providing authentic worth. Smith & Wesson carefully considered feedback on the initial generation and refined the M 2.0 into a significantly more accomplished handgun. The trigger gained refinement with a sharper engagement surface, smoother initial travel, and a more positive return that remains easier to detect during fast shooting. This improvement holds importance since many users pursue speed alongside control, and this trigger supplies both without demanding immediate aftermarket intervention. A primary factor aligning this model with the list theme is straightforward value. While certain competitors demand higher prices yet still require enhancements, the M and PM 2.0 frequently sells in 2026 between $499 and $649 depending on size, optics preparation, and included features. This allows customers to obtain a duty-capable pistol with established reliability for hundreds less than several alternatives. Frame texturing distinguishes the design further. In retail displays, some find it overly aggressive at first. Then actual conditions arise involving moisture, precipitation, gloves, low temperatures, hurried presentations, support hand operation, or heightened stress. At that moment, the texturing reveals its purpose by securing the pistol firmly when smoother surfaces begin to slip. Such thoughtful engineering signals a firearm created for real application rather than mere appearance. Internally, the extended stainless steel chassis reinforces the polymer frame, contributing to a more grounded recoil feel and imparting a sturdy, reassuring presence. It avoids any hollow or fragile sensation and instead conveys the character of a purposeful working tool. Ergonomics rate highly as well, featuring a grip angle many find instinctive along with interchangeable backstraps that accommodate various hand dimensions for improved fit. This aspect carries greater significance than often recognized because a naturally pointing pistol enables faster and more precise shooting with reduced deliberate adjustments. Full-size 9mm versions commonly hold 17 rounds, while compact models provide outstanding balance for concealed carry. Optics-ready versions, threaded barrel options, performance center variants, and multiple frame sizes ensure users avoid restriction to a single configuration. Additional support cements its top ranking. Holsters, sights, magazines, replacement components, and armor expertise remain widely accessible. When issues arise or wear occurs, fixes prove straightforward. Future upgrades offer plenty of pathways, yet the pistol performs capably even when left unmodified. That kind of versatility stands out as uncommon at this price level. 15 handguns, each offering distinct motivations for shooters to step away from Glock. Whether through superior factory triggers, enhanced ergonomics, greater overall value, advanced modularity, or simply a design that aligns more naturally with their hand and preferred shooting style, Glock certainly maintains its well-earned position in the history of handguns. Yet by 2026, customers enjoy more legitimate choices than at any point before, and that development represents excellent news for the entire shooting community.